28 bank account. Tell Andrew Holness to tell us about his 28 bank account. That is all you can hear from these risers. The question is though, where did they get this idea from that Andrew Holness has 28 bank accounts? And if they got the idea from somewhere, is it true that he has 28 bank accounts? Well, we are going to find out today, and we are going to settle the matter once and for all. So if anybody who is listening to this video knows of any risers, please send this video to them so we can educate them and save them from looking like the fools that they sound like every time they open their mouth talking about 28 bank accounts. So today, we are going to settle the matter once and for all. Well, let me first, though, welcome you all to Jamaica 411. Thank you so much for joining me today. Special shout out to all my subscribers. Welcome back. And for those of you listening, my silent listeners and new listeners, if you have not yet subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Share the video as well, far and wide, especially to those risers talking about the 28 bank account. Share it with them, yes. And as well as give the video a thumbs up. Please go ahead, give the video a thumbs up from now on. And of course, please feel free to leave your comments in the comments section. I thank you all in advance for your kindness. Yes. So, now that you're back with me, it's now time for business. 28 bank accounts. How many of you hear these risers talking about Andrew Holness and the 28 bank accounts? Them down to I call him Mr. 28. And then one lady was saying that him thief 28 bank account. Laughed me nearly dead when them said so on the JPU program with Natalie. You remember that? Yes. So we are going to be looking into these allegations and where did it come from? Well, to know where that allegation come from, we must first turn to the Integrity Commission's investigation report into the statutory declarations of Andrew Holness. So the first thing we're going to establish in this report are those two accounts that the Integrity Commission said that Holness had left off. The first two accounts. Those were First Global Bank accounts. One of them was a Euro account, a savings account that is in Euro. That is the European currency, and that number ended in 74. And the second one was a Jamaican dollar account. It was a checking account and in Jamaican dollars, and the number ended 07. Those two accounts were left off. In the investigation report, it falls under appendices. Appendix 2, summary of assets, liabilities, and income based on statutory declarations submitted. So Andrew Holness, remember, would have resubmitted his 2021 statutory declaration. There's something about this thing I just don't understand for the life of me, but we'll get there. As you can see for the top one that we surrounded in red, under 2018 it is blank. These two accounts were opened in 2015 or 2016 if my memory serves me right. And he never added them to his statutory declaration, right? He just opened the accounts and just left it. Forgot that they existed, apparently. Because no money was going in or coming out of the account, what the banks would do is to make it dormant. So the two accounts became dormant accounts. There were no activities. So when Andrew Holness submitted his statutory declarations for the two accounts, as you can see in 2018, he never mentioned them. That's why it's blank. Then in 2019, he also never mentioned them because they were left out. And so that is blank too. So wherever you see in the column, the first column marked assets, and you see the bank accounts, and then you look across, if there are numbers in the bank account, then the bank account existed for that year. If it is blank, then it never existed. If you see numbers appearing and then you see it blank, it means that those accounts were closed. Uno hear that, risers? Uno learning? Yes, man, me I convene class today. Normally, me have a nice discussion, me and my friends over here, but now we convene in class. So uno come and have a seat, please. I see uno in want of learning, so uno start to elbow all of my people out of the way who sitting at the front of the class. That's all right, my people. Just allow them to come to the front of the class, and I could teach them something today. So on the statutory declaration, wherever you see it blank, it means the account never existed at that time for that year. You see figures in it, even if it's zero, that means the account is active. It means that the account exists. Where you see figures and it is now blank after that, it meant that Wholeness closed the account, and that is why in 2021, 2022, you will see it blank. The account no longer exists. I'm going to lock it down. So in the case of these two First Global Bank accounts, they were never reported. They did exist, but they were never reported. So when he submitted his statutory declarations for those years 2018 to 2020, it's blank. It was when they found out at the Integrity Commission from First Global Bank, yes, him have some two accounts here, and they look and they never see it among his schedule of declared accounts, then call him in and ask him about it. And he said, Ratted, say, yes, and explained it. And so they said, okay, nothing going in, nothing going out, no harm done, and just leave it off. And then just say, okay, that's fine. And that was that investigation was closed. He submitted an amended declaration to include those two accounts. That's why you see them there in 2021. He would have had to reinstate them. I had the same issue with an account that I have with the same bank. So he had to reinstate it and then give them authority now to close the accounts. That's why you see it show up and then it disappear for the year 2022. Right? So I'm close that account. Look now at the other highlighted area. I have highlighted two Bank of Nova Scotia savings accounts, ending 64 and 60. There is a third one, the one just above that, which ends 21. The Bank of Nova Scotia savings account ending 21, that is Andrew Holness's father's account. Now remember, they said they were not declared, but as you notice, for some reason, they have it under 2018 and put a figure in there, 2019 and put a figure in there, 2020, all the way up to 2022. And the other two accounts, Bank of Nova Scotia accounts ending 64 and 60, those are his mother's account. And notice again, even though he left it off and would not have declared them until 2021, I suppose, in the amended, either amended or addendum. Not sure how they had done it at that time, right? They, at the Integrity Commission, had figures in 2018 all the way up. Now, we can conclude that it was the investigator who jotted these figures in. If they said Wholeness did not mention these accounts, then they should be blank all the way up to 2021, just like the First Global Bank. Because it says here, it is a summary of assets, liabilities, and income based on statutory declarations submitted. So, are they saying that he had amended all of the statutory declarations from 2018 all the way up and then added his parents' account amount in it? Was that what happened? Because I don't recall seeing that in the report. But nonetheless, they have those accounts listed here with figures. Now, we are now going to count because we are here to talk about the 28 bank accounts. I only mentioned that for a reason, and you'll see shortly. So let us now count the bank accounts. Ready? How much you see here on the screen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. These are the Jamaican dollar bank accounts. He has Jamaican dollar bank accounts and he has US dollar bank accounts. So these are the Jamaican bank accounts, and we counted 14, right? Remember now? It was the Director of Investigation, Kevon Stevenson, report to the Parliament that mentioned these 28 bank accounts. In fact, let us read what he actually said. Having regard to the second referral, the Director of Investigation's investigation led him to examine over 3,600 transactions in respect of approximately 28 bank accounts which either were or are presently associated with Andrew Holness. In his rush to make his thoughts known, this was what that Englishman, Mark Golding, the one that prims up in our parliament illegally, rushed out and made statements saying that Andrew Holness had 28 bank accounts and inferred that there was something fishy about it. Right? And then Andrew say him I go call for him lawyer and him say him I go draw for him lawyer, and then all of a sudden him no bother with it anymore. But then the risers take it up now and start run up and down the place with it, making themselves look like fools. Right? Now, so here it is, he's saying, approximately, he never count them before he open his mouth. Approximately. You see, Kevon Stevens is a very peculiar man, you know. Very peculiar. But his peculiarity may have some, well, logic to it. When he was writing this report, it's supposed to be a report that is sent to Parliament about the facts of an investigation that he conducted. And he's here talking about 3,600, right? Over 3,600 transactions in respect of approximately 28 bank accounts, and he had the figures there before him, he could count for himself. Why did he say that it was an approximated figure? Why did he not count them and say this amount of bank account or that amount of bank account? Why did he approximate the figure to be 28 when he had the facts before him that he could consult and give the parliamentarians information? He need to come and explain himself. By the way, Mas Kevon, ooh, wanna see him? Mas Kevon, come here, my friend, come here. I hear that you're at a function somewhere and somebody made this remark that they are going to be Andrew Holness's worst nightmare. I am going to be Andrew Holness's worst nightmare. Oh, who did say so? You remember who said so? You recall hearing the statement? Who was it that said so? What was that? What you say? How me find out about it? Go and ask Bunting. Uno no know, so uno no fi tell Bunting nothing. I want little mouth and muscleize of that. So if you want to know how I know, go and ask Peter Bunting. Ask him or who him tell. Sounds like you remember now. You remember now? No? All right, you go and think about it. But let us get on with this now. Why, when you were writing a report to the parliamentarians, you did not give the parliamentarians an exact figure as to the amount of bank accounts that Andrew Holness had? Why did you say approximately 28 when you have the figures them there before you? And the statements? Did you do so for a reason? And if you did, what reason could that be?
Mr. Holness has placed Jamaica, our beloved country, and our cherished democracy in a dangerous and untenable situation. His integrity issues cannot be resolved, partly because of the baffling complexity of his personal financial affairs. He operated no less than 28 bank accounts, 28. He operated no less than 28 bank accounts, 28.
Let us now look, Kevon, and Justice Beswick, Call in the people them from the Integrity Commission. Bring them come. Class is in session. Right? We may not need the services of Damian Crawford to come count for us. I think we can manage this one all by ourselves. So let us now go and see what was the exact figure that Kevin Stevenson reported in that investigation report and put before Parliament. He created a chart showing the accounts, and they can be added up. We can count them. So let's go now and check them for ourselves. So here we are at Appendix 2 again, and we're going to count where it says in black, bank and investment accounts. Bank and investment accounts. Bank accounts and investment accounts. Jamaican dollar. We're going to count. BNS checking, 1. BNS saving, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 bank accounts, and then the total is given underneath. Right? In 2022, he only had 804,000 in there. But in 2021, he had 4.5 million. But that was inflated by his mother's account of $4.5 million that she had in her account, that they erroneously put and claimed that he was a joint holder when there is no evidence to back that up. A fair name alone upon our statement, and the card is illegible. And I'm going to tell you something about that, but not just yet, in another video. So we counted 14 Jamaican dollar bank accounts. We're not talking about those that exist or didn't exist. We just talk about what we see. Here, let's go further and see how many US accounts he had. You see the total in black where it says 19.9 million. Look below that. And it says bank and investment accounts, US dollars. Bank accounts, US dollars, and investment accounts, US dollars. Now, where it says Bank of Nova Scotia US dollar account and then ends with 20, we're going to count how many we found there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he has 6 foreign exchange accounts, bank accounts, right? And we counted 14 Jamaican and 6. So we now have 20. So there are 20 bank accounts that were associated with Andrew Holness between the years 2018 and 2022. 20 bank accounts. Is that you count too? Yes. Look again and count them. We counted 14 before. Back up the video if you must and count them 1-1. You get 14 Jamaican accounts and 6 US dollars accounts. Yes, that's 20. Where did they make the mistake now? Because if these are the accounts, the 20 accounts. Remember it said, investment accounts too. So let's go and look and see if the investment accounts are what they were styling as bank accounts. All right, so there's a total now for the US dollar bank accounts. You see that? First Global Savings, US dollar account 73. Yes, so below that now, you have in the heading, it says investments, Jamaican dollar. Where it say investments, Scotia Investments, Jamaica Limited, right? There is an account number and he has so much money in that account. He opened it, let me see, 18, 19, 2020, he opened that account. So that investment account he has with Scotia Investment, and that was opened in 2020. Now, there's a difference between a bank account. A bank account is a commercial bank account and an investment account. If you go and you have some money, risers, and you go and put it with Mayberry or one of them people, Barita, then we'll open an account for you. That is not a bank account. It's a different story. So let us now count how many investment accounts Holness had at the time. Let's see now. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 investment accounts with Scotiabank. 2 of them, and I don't know those. Oh, and NCB Capital Market, right? 5. Let's add that to the 20 and we get 25. So we're short of 3. Where did the other 3 come from? Let us look and see. if there's another 3 that they probably mix up and call bank account because I'm not bright. And when I said I'm not bright, me not talk about the people who talk about the 28 bank account, I trust them leaders and I follow what them say. Me I talk about the leaders where say so. Them one way here upon a political platform I talk about 28 bank account. Yes, at them we talk, at them fool. Now in the table, the last line is where it says investments, US dollars. That's supposed to be now a heading. So we're going to look now at what falls below the heading. So below the heading, you have ordinary shares, ADMAT Incorporated, 100. NCB Capital Market Fixed Income USD. NCB Capital Market NFE bond. That was the bond that he had. And then they gave a total, right? Then they talk about business investments. There is no way they could confuse the Shenstone ADMAT Construction and the Imperium Investments as bank accounts. So therefore, we have 25 so far. Let us see how much we have here. The ordinary shares, 1, 2, 3. That add up now to the 28. So is this the 28 bank account that we're talking about? Marky G and Master Leighton Campbell. On the stage, I talk about 28 bank account and who have 28 bank account. Are the 28 bank account that I talk? You never read the report for yourself. Because if you read the report, it's one of 2 things. You either know that is the man don't have no 28 bank account and you're lying, taking advantage of the fact that Mr. Kevin Stevenson provided you with the means to go out there go talk about how the man had 28 bank account. He's approximately 28 bank accounts that are associated or were associated with him. When him have the table in front of him, he could account himself. But him chose not to because him wanted Uno to get something to go talk. Is that so, Kevin? By the way, you remember yet who was at that function in Mandeville talking about them going to be Andrew Holness's worst nightmare? You remember yet? Oh, you still think about it? All right then. Go and think about it. So here we have it. 28 accounts. Some bank, some investment accounts. Right? 20 bank accounts, 8 investment accounts. Add up to 28. Maybe this is where them get the approximate 28 accounts from. Now, we're going to do something else. We are now going to check how many of those 20 bank accounts belong to Andrew Holness in the first place. We want to check to see how many were active and how many were clearly inactive. And then we do a maths with self. Yes. The first thing we're going to begin to do is to remove Andrew Holness's name from his mother's 2 accounts, the 2 BNS accounts. So now that leaves us with 18 bank accounts to account for. The second thing we're going to do, we're going to remove Andrew Holness's father's account, which is the Bank of Nova Scotia account number 21. We're removing that because even though he's a joint holder, it is his father's account, and Prince Kameka established that the account belonged to his daddy. So now we are down to 17 bank accounts. Are we going to look for them? Yes. Then now we're talking about now, remember them saying that him have 28 bank accounts. He had those 2 First Global accounts that were dormant that he reopened and closed those accounts. So what we're going to do is look in the 2022 column. That is what is going to tell us how many accounts he had up to that point, because we don't have the 2023. So let us count. 3 at the top. A checking account with BNS and 2 savings account. Then the mortgage account he had with Jamaica National and the bank account he had with Jamaica National Bank, he closed them. That's why it is blank. So he still maintains those 3 BNS bank accounts at the top. You see them in 2022, money in them. Then the Jamaica National Bank accounts, blank. Then you come down now to the NCB accounts. And at that time, he had an NCB savings account and an NCB current account. Then we come to the the two first global bank accounts, a checking account and a savings account, the one that he got into trouble with at first. As we said, he reopened it and took his money out and closed the account. So that's why it's blank in 2022. He no longer have those bank accounts. Then we go down now to another First Global Bank savings account 72. As you can see in 2022, it's also blank. And his First Caribbean checking account, and as you can see, that is also blank. And then those two accounts at the bottom in red, those two accounts, BNS savings account number 64 and 60, they belong to his mother. And Kamika ruled that they had found out on the 21st of June 2024. And we're coming back to that. Look out for the next video, bombshell of no mean order. Those two accounts belong to his mother. Andrew Holness is named upon the account. The statements are in the mother's name. So those two should not be on it in the first place. The BNS account number 21, which is him jointly holding that account with his daddy. It's his daddy's account, daddy added his name to it. As you know, quite a number of parents do that. So that is not his account. Daddy opened the account and added his name to it. So we're counting that one out as well. So now let us count now how many bank accounts Andrew Holness actually had in 2022. Come risers, come, pay attention. Your time now. Let's count. We start from the BNS checking account at the top. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bank accounts, because we're not counting the 3 at the bottom. They don't belong to him, right? He had 5 bank accounts, commercial bank accounts in 2022. We'll check later to see how many US dollar accounts he had at that time as well. But we're checking only the Jamaican for now. So please make notes, everybody. Let us now turn back now to 2018. And let us check to see through the years coming up how many bank accounts he had. Because we're looking for the 28 bank accounts, right? The approximately 28 bank accounts that they said he had. So in 2018, we see that he had 2 of the Scotiabank accounts. The account number 3 was not yet open. As you can see, it's blank. In fact, he never opened that account until 2021, right? So at that time, he had 2 bank accounts with the Bank of Nova Scotia, a checking account and a savings account. Then he had the 2 accounts with Jamaica National Bank, a mortgage account and another account, I assume it's savings. So that's 4. As you can see, the NCB accounts, both the savings and current, is blank. So the accounts never open, right? Indeed, he never opened the savings account until 2020, and then he opened the current account for NCB in 2021. You see that? That's why it is blank for those years before that. And of course, there is the First Caribbean checking account that he had. So let's count now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 accounts he had in 2018. Right? Good. Let's check now for 2019. Let's see how many accounts he had. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bank accounts. What happened? What changed? He opened a First Global Savings account 72 in 2019, in addition to the other 5 that he had before. Then now we come to 2020. How many bank accounts did Andrew Holness have? We count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What is the difference? He then opened the NCB savings account in 2020, and that's the additional account that he opened in 2020. So he has 7 bank accounts in 2020. We go now to 2021. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 bank accounts. And what we did was to add those 2 first global bank accounts, one that were dormant that he opened in order to close, because you know it was closed because you can see 2022 it was blank. So what changed? He closed the Jamaica National Bank accounts and the mortgage account in 2021. The two of them he closed. And then he also closed the first Global Bank Savings Account 72, and he closed the first Caribbean checking account number 58. He also closed them. But the two accounts that were dormant that they had found out that he did not declare, he had to open them, take the money out, and then close the account. So at that time, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bank accounts in 2021. We still not find the 18 bank accounts yet, but then be patient. They're still the US accounts. We soon get to them. And of course, in 2022, we already established that he had 5 bank accounts. So 5 Jamaican dollar accounts in 2022. We're now going to look to see how many US dollars account he had. Maybe that is where the other ones them there. What do you think? You think so? Well, let us take a look. So let us look at the final column. As you can see, bank and investment accounts, US dollars. Let us look in the final column. What we see of the accounts that we see listed here on the left. Let us count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bank accounts are listed. But in 2022, how many bank accounts did Andrew Holness have? As you can see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 accounts that are active. The one for the first global US dollar savings account is blank, and the one for the first global bank savings account number 73 is also blank. So there are only 4 accounts, 5 Jamaican dollar accounts and 4 US dollar accounts. When you add that up, you get 9. If you want confirmation risers, go and ask Damien. Him say him the maths brain in the party. So go and ask him. 5 and 4 make 9. Right? Of the 20 bank accounts that we saw listed in the left-hand column, it is only 9 bank accounts that Andrew Holness holds. 3 of the accounts listed were not his. So you get 17. And since he only has 9, it meant that the other 8 accounts never existed. They were all blank, as you could have seen and counted for yourself. And if you have any doubt and you want to make sure, just go back on the video and count them again. Right? Let us look now in 2018. Maybe that is where it was. Well, in 2018, it is showing that he only had 3 bank accounts, because the Citibank account, the checking account, the NCB savings account 87, and the FGB savings account 73, they're all blank. It's blank. So therefore, the accounts were not opened at that time. So we already established that in 2018, he had 5 bank accounts, Jamaican dollar bank accounts. So you add the 3, and therefore in 2018, he had a total of 8 bank accounts. Make a note, please. Let us go now to 2019. He opened now the Citibank US dollar account. It's a checking account. And he also opened for the first time the first global savings account number 73. So let us count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 accounts. So in 2019, in addition to the 6, he would have had 11 active accounts at that time. We go to 2020 and let's see what's happening there. Same accounts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nothing changed. So we add another 5 to the 7 that were active, and you have 12. In 2021, 1, 2, he had closed the first Caribbean US dollar account, and he had closed the first global bank account 73. So that leaves him with 4 accounts. So when you add the 4 to the 7, he had 11 accounts. But by the time 2022 rolled in, he still had the same 4 accounts. And you add that to the 5 Jamaican dollar accounts that he had, and you get 9. How your maths going, risers? Now work out for you. Go check Damien. Damien will tell you that him have maths brain. Check him. Carry the video and show Damien and ask Damien to check it for you and tell you how much bank account Andrew Holness have if you doubt what we are saying. And you can also go to the Integrity Commission's website and look on the publications, reports, and you're looking for the investigation report into Andrew Holness. And when you check, you go down to the pages near the bottom, 174, I believe, and you will see all the information. You can check it for yourself and count, and then you can decide whether you're going to continue with the foolishness about this 28 bank account and look like a fool, make black people laugh after you. You know, when black people laugh after you, well, laugh after, you know, right? Or you want to find something else to talk about, because there are so many things that Andrew Holness said, you can't talk about, you know, without looking like an imbecile. I follow this Englishman who lied to you over and over and over again, and like fool black people that he think you are, you go and repeat all the rubbish that he's saying and then make yourself look like a mascot. Let Labour writer laugh after you and say you're dunce. Can you imagine Labour writer laugh after you and say you're dunce? When Labour writer laugh after you and say you're dunce bad. Not true. Not that we always say. Yes. So, that is it. Andrew Holness has 9 bank accounts up to 2022. 5 Jamaican dollar accounts and 4 US dollar accounts. There is nothing unusual about that. There are a mix of checking accounts and a mix of savings accounts. He is a businessman who is clearly not putting all his eggs in one basket. And not even we ordinary people not do that, much less. But we don't talk about Andrew Holness. Let us go and look now to see how many bank books Mark Golding has. Are you up for it, risers? You want us to check that? Yes, let us see if anything unusual about Andrew Holness in terms of his bank accounts, and let us check and see how much Mark Golding has. Now, just to be clear, we have here statements that he made that he had monies in savings accounts and current accounts. What we don't know are how many, but we will give him the benefit of doubt and say is 1. So let us look at the minimum number of 1. So here he states in his 2021 statutory declaration that he has 2 accounts, a savings account and a current account. So we are counting those as 2 accounts. Then he declared he had a British pound sterling account, right? Yes. And here he is declaring that he also has a US savings account. So based on Mark Golding's declarations of 2021, we know that he has a minimum of 2 Jamaican accounts and 1 pound sterling savings account and a US savings account, which brings him to a total of 4 accounts. In 2022, again, he declared that he had savings account and current account. We're going to assume it's 1. So he has 2 accounts in Jamaican dollars. Again, he declares that he has a British pound sterling savings account. That's 3 accounts so far. But now, in addition to the savings account that he had in US dollars, he's now declaring that he has a current account as well. So that brings his total to 5 accounts. 2 Jamaican, 1 pound sterling savings account, and a US savings account and current account, right? So that's 5. And that would be in the year 2022 when Andrew Holness had 5 accounts plus the 4 US dollar accounts. So Andrew had 9 and Mark Golding had 5. That's in 2022. We don't have any figures for Andrew for 2023 because his statutory declarations are on investigations. So let's see what happens with Mark now. You are now looking at his 2023 statutory declarations, the summary of it. And as you can see, he still declared the savings and current accounts, and there are at least 2. He may have more. Somebody need to ask him how many bank accounts he has. Since nobody's investigating him and about him business at the Integrity Commission, he should tell us how many bank accounts he has. So as you can see, he has closed his pound sterling savings account, and he still has his savings account and current account in US dollars. So he's now down to 4 bank accounts at least. Now, if indeed he has 4 bank accounts, don't jump for joy and say, yeah, my leader have 4 bank accounts. Try and remember that this is him putting all his eggs in only 4 baskets. I don't know how wise that is, but then that is his business. So when we're making the comparison between Holness and Mark Golding as to the number of accounts they have, we have that Mark Golding in 2022, he had 5 bank accounts minimum. We don't know if he had more savings or checking accounts in US or Jamaican dollars. So we know he has 5 minimum, while Andrew Holness has 9. And that's because we know that he has 9 due to the investigations that was carried out. So that's what we have for you today. And I know you're saying, so where the 28 bank account them there? Well, you need to ask Mr. Kevon Stevens. Oh, by the way, Kevon, no but a sheep and screechy way now. Miss you come back and tell me who the dung a Mandeville I talk about say them is going to be Andrew Holness's worst nightmare. Tell me now. You still not remember? All right. Well, what I'm going to do, I am going to report the matter to Mom. Yes. Mrs. Beswick, Justice Beswick, please to call Mr. Kevon Stevenson to your office and ask him, maybe confidentially we tell you what you now go and tell me. Ask him who said that them is Andrew Holness's worst nightmare. Who says so? Ask him if him know who says so. Yes. That is that where it comes to those 28 bank accounts. So maybe what we need to do is to call Mark Golding Mr. 28. Layard Golding. Yes, Layard Golding. See, when someone come talk about saying father was the one who was asked to lead the medical response to the polio outbreak in 1954. Lie! The man who was appointed the 1st of September 1954 to lead the medical response to the polio outbreak was Dr. Sidney Ferreira. And that liar know because we sent him the video and him still a walk around the place and tell people about his daddy was the one appointed to lead the polio fight. That's why we call him Layard Golding, and we still call him Layard Golding.
He operated no less than 28 bank accounts. 28.
Because of him, they come with this story about the 28 bank account. So maybe what we need to do is to start call him Mr. 28. What you all think about that? Are you saying I like the one there? All right, you tell me what you think we should call him in the comment section. All right? Great. Anyway, folks, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me, for sharing, liking, subscribing, and leaving your comments in the comments section. Until next time, take very good care of yourselves and walk good.